Hi everyone. Welcome to today's grammar class. Today's class is more about grammar and vocabulary, more about vocabulary rather. And I'm going to start with what I left yesterday. Okay. Now, to recap about yesterday, we learned about types of questions that usually come around grammar and vocabulary. So, with grammar, we had questions where we had to identify parts of sentences that were wrong and choose the right option, which comprised of all the wrong statements in that paragraph. The paragraph is distributed into five statements. Then we also had questions where we had to choose the right word out of the given words. That was a vocabulary oriented question. There were also a couple of questions where we had to see we had to find out the correct replacement of the underlined part of the sentence. So there will be a complete 2 3 line statement given, and a part of it will be underlined. And from that underlined part, you'll have to choose as to out of the given options that which is the best usage of this particular statement grammatically. We saw that in such questions, often even if the part of statement individually seems to be correct, overall, when studied as an entire paragraph, the meaning may turn out to be different, and you may find a couple of sentences not fitting well. That's why I say that practice is important, and that's why my classes are more about practice when it comes to grammar and vocabulary and less about theory. I hope that is clear to you. So, as I said, that today is more of vocabulary, and I think I left yesterday at this particular slide where were talking about the question that said that find the word that is closest in meaning to the word given in the question. Yesterday's last word was impudence, and I also had a couple of questions where you had to actually state the exact word that would fill in the blanks. So let's begin the class. And today's first question is with the question type is same, and the question is find the word that is opposite in meaning to the word given in the question. Yesterday it was closest in meaning. Today you'll have to find a word that is opposite in meaning. So when it comes to opposite, it's tougher because then you have to know the exact meaning of every word. And it may not be exactly opposite, so you have to know the word at large. You have to understand the context of this word. Suppose if there is a word that is a noun but that is also used as an adjective, then you might get stuck there. That is why I'm here with certain words that are common in the entrance examinations and MBA entrance examinations, and also these words will may have different meanings from what you actually perceive at the very first instance. So let's begin. Today's first word is badger, and I have to find the word that is opposite in meaning to badger. First option is goad, second, hound, third, please, and fourth, hassle. I'll give you a couple of seconds because this is going to take a while to really figure out, and my timer will be on. Done. So let's evaluate the options. By the way, the word badger means to pester somebody, to annoy somebody, to bother somebody. Now, when I know the meaning of badger, it will become relatively easier to find a better option, more suitable option. Next word is good. Good means to hound somebody, to annoy somebody. So it is a similar word to badger, so this is not the right option. Next is hound. So see, I was talking about such kind of words. Hound is also meaning, hound is dogs are also called as hounds, especially those very aggressive and very carnivorous kind of dogs that are mostly kept for guarding, aggressive nature dogs. Those are called as hounds. But here it's not a noun, but hound is a verb. Just like those kind of hounds actually follow and make and threaten you, in the similar way, the meaning of this word hound is when somebody is following you to the extent that he or she is annoying you. Hence, the the crux of the meaning of this word is again to pester, to annoy somebody. So this is also same in meaning as my question, that is badger. So this is again not a right option. The next word is please. To please means to make somebody feel happy. So now this please is not please do this for me, please pay attention. This is the verb please, which means to appease someone, to make someone feel pleasant, good. So this is right opposite to badger. So this is the correct option. 3. But I'll also cross check with fourth, as I said that please be careful. Fourth is hassle. You must be knowing the meaning of the word hassle. To hassle means to bother somebody, किसी को परेशान करना. इसलिए hassle भी सही option नहीं है. सही answer है 3. The right option is 3. Now let's move to next question. Find the word that is opposite in meaning again to the word banal. Now, why I have written the meaning is because these are some complicated words which I would want you to note down right away. See, I'll tell you, although it's a live class, it's not as interactive, but to make the most out of it, I'll request you to number one, always post a comment when you have a doubt, and number two, to also always write, make a note of the words that I am dictating. That will make your vocabulary better anyway, because these are the words that have come often in the exams. So if I speak of this, if I bring this up in my slides, it means these are important. And if now you write their meaning, and I'm saying in a slow speed, I speak in a slow speed, just so that you can note that down, then it will be very beneficial for you going ahead. This extra time will be saved. And you know that while preparing for CAT, time management and saving time is the most important thing that you need to learn, from practice to the time till you appear the exam and get off the seat. So, banal means boring, and the options are vapid, bland, trite, original. I'll give you a couple of seconds to figure out the right answer. Are you done? Okay, I'll make you wait no more. First word is vapid. Vapid means something that doesn't have anything challenging or exciting to offer. That noun means vapid. Bland. How often have you used the word bland? Of course, at all the times you went to a restaurant and you do not like the food, or if at all you are somebody who loves spicy food like I do, you must be finding certain cuisines like continental, etc., bland, right? Not very tasteful. So we use bland often to speak of food, to speak of color of clothes. So bland again means something which is boring, not tasty, not exciting, right? Now next is trite. Trite straight away means boring, dull. So all these words are very similar, or rather exactly similar to the word given in my question, which is banal. Hence, the only remaining option is fourth, which is original. And very clearly, original means something which is authentic. On a positive note, it is exciting. It is not dull, it is authentic, it is original. So this is the most suitable option over here. So, fourth is the correct answer. Now, we shall move to the next option, magnanimous. Find the word that is opposite to meaning of magnanimous. Options: benign, stingy, affable, benevolent. Please choose. I'll give you a couple of seconds for that. So I'll explain the meaning of each option. Magnanimous means an act, somebody who is kind, gentle hearted, or an act that is kind act. So it's an adjective that can be used for any person or any act. Okay. Now the first option, benign, means kind. Again, kind. So this is similar. Hence, wrong answer. Second is, okay, let's move to third. Third means affable, which is pleasant again. So this is an adjective that says that something is pleasant. Hence, this is again not the right option. Fourth is benevolent. Benevolent means very kind, very generous, an act of benevolence by the government of India to grant X crore of rupees to the poor people during the COVID-19 is an example of the word benevolent. So we remain with only second option, which is stingy. Stingy means something that is biting, that is negative, zehrila, negative act, which is full of wit, hatred. So this is right opposite to magnanimous. Hence, the right option is stingy, which is second option. Now let's go to the next statement, which is next question rather, where I have to find the word that means right opposite to caliber. Okay. So you must have heard of caliber, and I'm sure that CAT is also an exam of caliber. What you're studying, how easily you grab what I teach, again means caliber. So caliber means the ability or the quality of a person or a thing. And the options are ineptness, distinction, competence, capability. Please take a while and tell me what can be the right answer. So I think I've given enough time now. Let's hover on the questions, across the questions, options actually. The first is ineptness. Ineptness means something that has no skill. Okay, so how can I use it in a sentence? Is that the way she handled the event clearly showed her ineptness. Means the program or the event was not handled well. It clearly shows that she had no skill, no relevant skill for it. So it was an act of, or it was a description of ineptness. Okay, it was a demonstration of ineptness. Next, distinction. I'm sure that you must have heard that when you say I scored a distinction, it means I scored well. I scored really well. Distinction is a category of marking in a lot of schools and colleges, especially in the times of our parents. So, distinction means being excellent. Next is competence. So, what is competence? Competence is again the skill or ability to do a thing. That is called as competence. So, competence also means the same. Finally, we have capability. Capability is the ability or the skill or the willingness to do a task or a thing. Hence, capability, competence, distinction all mean the same as the word given in the question, which is caliber, which means ability. The only option that remains which does not match with caliber is ineptness, clearly. So the right answer is ineptness because we had to find the word which means right opposite. Next, we have to find a word that means exactly opposite to camaraderie. Okay? So camaraderie means having mutual trust, having mutual respect, and the options intimacy, sociability, conviviality, and antagonism. And your time starts now to think of the answer and then I'll explain. Hope you have thought of an answer and I'll tell you one by one. What is the meaning of intimacy? Intimacy means physical or emotional, uh, eh, physical or emotionally close. Okay, the intimate relations, and it can be both emotionally and physically. So, intimacy means physical or emotional closeness. Second is sociability. So, somebody who is very sociable, who is very outgoing, easily gels up with people, makes new friends. That skill, that ability is called as sociability. Next word is conviviality. Conviviality again means the same. Conviviality means the ability to gel up easily, to get along with people very easily. That is what we call conviviality as. But the fourth word means is antagonism. Antagonism means having the feeling of hostility towards somebody. So it's like if you've heard of protagonist, somebody who is in the favor, and then we have antagonist, somebody who is not in the favor. Antagonism is that the word given to that feeling where you antagonize with hate, approve of, or are hostile towards somebody or something. Hence, we see that clearly antagonism is the word that is closest in meaning, sorry, that is right opposite to meaning of the word given in the question, which is camaraderie. Because intimacy, sociability, and conviviality all mean the same. So we move to the next question. Find the word that is opposite in meaning to the word given in the question. Candid. And the options are tactful, forthright, blunt, ingenuous. Your timer starts now, please. Should I start? Okay. So the first option is candid. Tactful. Tactful means somebody who is witty, has tactics, is clever, uses tactics, is clever, is witty in handling things or talking or doing an act. Forthright means somebody who is upright, straightforward. Whatever is there in mind, can speak or he'll do that. Does not apply a lot of brain, ज़्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाते हैं, बिल्कुल अपफ्रंट होते हैं, जो है वही है. टैक्टफुल मतलब थोड़े सोच समझ के डिप्लोमेसी से चीजें करते हैं. थर्ड इज ब्लंट. ब्लंट मतलब वो जो जो मुंह में है वो बोल देता है. somebody who speaks very straightforward, mostly in a rude or offensive way. So, and the last option is ingenuous. Ingenuous means somebody who is very innocent, simple. यानी कि वो जो innocent होगा और जो simple होगा वो कभी भी ना tactful नहीं होगा. वो दिमाग नहीं लगाएगा ज्यादा चीजों में. जो वो है सो है. तो आप देखोगे ना इसमें जो candid है, candid means somebody who is very genuine, who comes up as a very natural and a very organic person. So, right, spontaneous person. तो जो कैंडिड स्पॉन्टेनियस लोग हुए, फोर्थ राइट जो जो है वो बोल देते हैं, ब्लंट जो रूड ही सही लेकिन जो है वही बोलते हैं, एंड इंजेन्युअस पीपल आर वेरी सिंपल इनोसेंट यानी वो ज्यादा दिमाग नहीं लगाएंगे. इन सबका एक ही मीनिंग है. ऑपोजिट बस टैक्टफुल रहा जो कि धूर्त तरह के लोग होते हैं या टैक्टिक्स वाले लोग होते हैं, विटी क्लेवर पीपल. सो टैक्टफुल इज द राइट आंसर फॉर दिस क्वेश्चन. ओके, एंड आई होप you're noting down the words. Now we move to another question. Here, I have to find a word that is opposite in meaning to chagrin. Okay? Chagrin means disappointed or annoyed. And the options: number one, grumpiness. Number two, spleen. Number three, glee. Number four, vexation. Okay? Now, I'll give you a couple of seconds to think for the right answer, please. Done? So the first option is grumpiness. It means annoyed. We often say, "Na, why are you so grumpy?" Means why are you so annoyed? Why are you so disappointed? That is the meaning of grumpiness. Now we talk of the next word, spleen. So spleen is also a part of the body, so do not confuse it for that. Spleen also means anger. Here spleen means anger. So I see that number one option, which is grumpiness, is also similar to chagrin. Somebody who is able to feel or perceive. Okay? Next option is awake. Awake मतलब जागृत है, aware है, up, not sleepy, not unenthusiastic, not uninterested. Next is conversant. So the conversant is somebody who is again familiar about something. Then we have nonchalant. Nonchalant is somebody who is very quiet, easygoing, not displaying enthusiasm about something. So when you see the meaning of each word, although awake and sentient will feel not exactly same in the meaning, but they somehow mean somebody open to knowledge, somebody who is knowledgeable, who is aware of stuff. And only nonchalant is something which shows that not displaying enthusiasm. जानने की समझने की इतनी इच्छुकता है नहीं, ना ही इतना enthusiasm है. So non-challenge will be something which is opposite to the meaning of cognizant. Okay? So let's move to another slide. Find the word opposite in meaning to the word given in the question, and that word is temperate. And my options are clement, callous, mild, meek. So please pay attention for 20, 30 seconds or so, and then I'll get back. So I think I've given enough time. I don't want you to lose focus. Temperate means, have you heard the word temperate zones or temperate forests or temperate areas? These are the areas where the climate is neither very warm, neither very hot, neither very cold. And the word temperate is derived from that only, means something which is neither very hot nor very cold. Okay. And now the word clement, it means mild. Then we have the word callous, which means not caring, very cold and callous people. So, like the government has a very callous attitude towards the rights of women or towards the scenario of rapes in the country. So that is how we use the word callous. Then we have the word mild. Mild is a very common word. Simply straight away it means moderate. Then we have somebody meek, who is quiet. So what do you think is more most relatable? Of course, the word callous. Because callous is straight away meaning cold and callous, not caring at all. Meek might care but will remain quiet. But callous straight away not caring, very cold attitude. So for the word temperate, mild, for the word temperate, callous is something which means opposite. गाइस आई एम वेरी श्योर कि इस क्वेश्चन में आपको लगा होगा कि सभी के मीनिंग काफी अलग है, बट ऐसा नहीं है. एक फंडामेंटल मीनिंग होता है ना किसी भी शब्द का, जो आप कॉन्टेक्चुअली डिफर करता है ना. कॉन्टेक्स्ट वाइज चीजों के मीनिंग, वर्ड्स के मीनिंग डिफर करते हैं, आप मानोगे ही. उस सेंस में आपको देखना पड़ेगा और तब आपको समझना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आपके पास चूज करने को चार ही ऑप्शंस है. आपको इनमें ही राइट आंसर निकालना पड़ेगा. इसीलिए मैंने वर्ड्स की मीनिंग को इतना एक्स्ट्रापोलेट किया है. ठीक है, गिवन मीनिंग से थोड़ा और ज्यादा उसका स्कोप ब्रॉडन किया है. आई ब्रॉडन द स्कोप ओनली बिकॉज दीज आर द फोर ऑप्शंस गिवन, यू हैव टू चूज from that. That is why I always say that when you practice, you also get to know the approach, and that is how you arrive at the right answer. Test of caliber, not a memory in vocabulary too. Now, so there are certain words in vocabulary Joe, which are often confused to be replacement of one another, or wrong. One is used in the place of other because people are not aware of the meaning. Number one, number two, people it used so interchangeably, so ubiquitously. Their use is so ubiquitous that people think यार यही सही है, but no, what is in trend is not always right. Okay, what is what majority says is not always right. Remember that in life and in while preparation too. Always cross check and be sure. And also इनके pronunciations बिल्कुल सेम होते हैं, except and except, right? तो इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा चांसेस हैं कि आप एक की जगह दूसरे को यूज कर लो और गलत मतलब निकाल लो, और you do not score well, you end up choosing the wrong answer. इसीलिए I'll teach and I'll show some words जिनके मीनिंग बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट होते हैं एक दूसरे से, लेकिन साउंड एक जैसे करते हैं. फर्स्ट पेयर इज एक्सेप्ट एंड एक्सेप्ट. एक्सेप्ट मीन्स ग्रहण करना, रिसीव करना. टू ग्रांट, टू रिसीव, टू सबमिट, टू अग्री, टू से yes, or to agree to be a member, or like, suppose and he accepted to become the shadow prime minister of the country. What does that mean कि उन्होंने उस पोजीशन को एक्सेप्ट किया. या फिर आप ऐसे बोलो कि she accepted that she lied. So she submitted to the fact that she lied. She accepted the gift. तो उसने गिफ्ट को ग्रहण किया, to receive. Okay. She accepted she accepted the request for allowing me to come late to the hostel. So she granted the permission. Okay. So she accepted my proposal of marriage. So she answered a yes. Hence, this is how different usage of accept is. Accept are different usages. The committee accepted the director's proposal is yet another example. Now we have accept. Accept as a verb will mean इसके सिवाय, इसके अलावा, excluding that thing. It also means to take out, to leave out. जैसे कि there are a few abbreviation things like TOEFL and IELTS and such that are specifically accepted from this rule. Okay? So इसका मतलब excluded from this rule. Also, so I like all colors except blue. मतलब excluding blue from the category of colors, I like every other color. And also some to leave out something. So जहाँ जैसे यहाँ हमने देखा कि TOEFL IELTS are accepted from this rule. यानी they do not fall under those who follow this rule या इस पे ये रूल अप्लाई नहीं होगा. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट ब्राइडल एंड ब्रिडल. अब इसमें तो इतना सिमिलर नहीं है, बट क्योंकि कुछ लोग ब्राइडल भी पढ़ेंगे और यूजेजेस हर जगह डिफर करती है, कहीं कहीं ब्राइडल को ब्राइडल भी बोलते हैं, ब्रिडल भी बोलते हैं, इसलिए इनका मतलब जानना बहुत जरूरी है. So bridal means referring to a bride or a wedding. So this is in a bridal outfit. Ritu Kumar is the best designer of bridal gowns. We went to a bridal shower. These are the kind of usages of the word bridal. Next word is bridle. It refers to a head harness. Okay. So जो घोड़ों पे harness यूज करते हैं ना to control and guide them and restrain them, that is called as bridle or bridle. With the spelling BRIDLE. Okay. By extension, this will also mean an act of restraining power or limiting your rights or limiting freedom or limiting access. तो जैसे his common sense is a brittle to his quick temper. तो अपना जो उसका क्विक टेम्पर है, टेम्परामेंट, एटीट्यूड है ऐसा जल्दी गुस्सा आने का, उसके लिए एक हार्नेस है कॉमन सेंस. दैट मीन्स ही हैज अ गुड रिस्ट्रेन ओवर हिज नेचर ऑफ गेटिंग एंग्री क्विकली बिकॉज ऑफ हिज कॉमन सेंस. Common sense is acting as a harness or something restraining here. Next is augur and augur. Same in pronunciation, but different in spelling usage. So, auger is a tool for boring holes into wood, leather, etc. And usage examples: he used an auger to make holes in the shoes for the shoelaces. Okay, and sorry, please allow me a couple of seconds. And AUGUR will mean to foretell, to predict, to forewarn. The owl augurs the coming of bad times. उल्लू का आना कुछ बुरे वक्त आने का साइन है, forewarn है, ठीक है? As per Indian mythology. That is an example of usage. So it is also used to refer to a prophet, a prognosticator, an oracle. Like an ancient Roman augur prophet told Julius Caesar to beware of the Ides of March. In the play by Shakespeare, this was a statement where there was an ancient Roman augur or a prophet. Okay? Next, bidding and biding. Biding को कई जगह bidding भी बोलते हैं लोग, but I think biding is a better usage. Bidding means to offer to pay particular amount of money for something that's being sold. Auction, bidding, कुछ बिक रहा है और आप उसके लिए bid कर रहे हो. You're saying that okay, I'll buy this for this amount. Or the seller will say that it will be sold for this amount, X amount, Y amount. That is bidding. He plans to stop bidding on his house by making a huge counter offer. Got it? Second is biding. It means waiting for the right time before doing something. He is biding his time so that he can enter the bidding process at the right time and stop the bidding on his house by making a huge counteroffer. This is such a classic and apt example to show how bidding and biding are used differently in the same context, how much they are different in the meaning. This is so aptly shown by this example. Good job. Next pair of words, critic and critique. Okay? ये तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा कंफ्यूज होता है और ये बहुत ही आता है। इसको तो आप ढंग से ही समझना और नोट भी कर लेना। ठीक है? सो critic, CRITIC, critic means someone who forms and expresses judgments of merits. A judge, for example, is a critic जो merits, demerits, merits और faults को analyze करता है. He analyzes the value or the truth of a matter. So he is his own worst critic when it comes to analyzing his writing. तो वो जो लिख रहा है वो खुद का ही सबसे बड़ा क्रिटिक है. वो काफी क्रिटिकल आईज से अपने एक्ट को, अपने आर्ट को एनालाइज करता है. ठीक है? दैट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ क्रिटिक. नेक्स्ट इज क्रिटिक. अ क्रिटिक वर्ड से आता है evaluation by using a review or commentary, especially one dealing with works of art or literature. Critique is the act actually. When somebody, that act of evaluation, evaluating the positives, the negatives, the pros and cons, the merits and the demerits, is what we call as critique. So, critique is an evaluation by using a review, commentary, especially one dealing with works of the art or literature. That act is called critique. जैसे न्यूज़पेपर में आता है ना कभी कभी किसी पेंटिंग या किसी लिटरेरी वर्क के बारे में अनबायस्ड पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव ओपिनियन आता है, उसको हम क्रिटिक कहेंगे. सो जैसे द क्रिटिक ऑफ द न्यू फिल्म इन टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया वाज वेरी पॉजिटिव. ओके, so one, the act of performing critique, the act is critique and the doer is a critic. Got it? That should simplify it. अब आते हैं कुछ क्वेश्चंस पे which are based on this, what I taught you earlier, based on the concept when two very similar meaning or sounding words are given in a question in the mid of the statement sentence, and you have to choose which is the right option. तो चार statements हैं यहाँ पे देखोगे तो. Choose the best word to complete each sentence. All sentences belong to the same paragraph. Hence, choose the word which best suits the context. To not just what suits the sentence but also the entire paragraph को जो better suit करे आपको वो choose करना है. और आपको आंसर्स जो ऑप्शंस दिए होंगे ना एमसीक्यू में वो ऐसे दिए होंगे ए बी, तो आपने पहले के लिए चूज किया ए या बी, दूसरे के लिए चूज किया, तीसरे के लिए, चौथे के लिए, और पूरा सेट सही बैठेगा तब जाके आपका आंसर सही होगा. और वो सेट शुड मैच वन ऑफ द ऑप्शन दैट इज गिवन. थोड़ा टफ लग रहा है इसलिए थोड़ा स्लोली करेंगे इसको और थोड़ा समझ के करना. और इसमें मैं आपको अप्रोच बताऊंगी जिससे ये जल्दी हो जाएगा, ठीक है? क्योंकि हमारा पर्पस है एक्यूरेट आंसर को स्पीड के साथ लाना, नॉट रियली टू शो और प्रूव कि ओह आई अराइव्ड विथ सो मच कीन विथ एप्लीकेशन ऑफ सो मच ऑफ नॉलेज. ठीक है, तो पहला शब्द है, पहला स्टेटमेंट है, स्टेटमेंट है while Arctic sea ice has shown a relatively steady descent or decline in square mileage over the past 3 decades as global temperatures rise, its southern counterpart has yielded more erroneous slash erratic and controversial data since monitoring began in the late 1970s. The February 14 mark for Antarctic sea ice supersedes lows seen around this time in 1997. In 2012, Antarctic sea ice actually hit a record monthly high, with scientists theorizing, prognosticating that melting ice shelves were contributing to the growth. I'll give you a couple of seconds to think and please let me know. Okay, so now let's look at each of the option. So while Arctic sea ice has slowly shown a relatively steady descent, तो डिसेंट का मतलब होता है कि ऊपर से नीचे आना, सॉर्ट ऑफ डिक्लाइन, और डिक्लाइन का मतलब होता है रिडक्शन इज इन साइज और वॉल्यूम. ठीक है, तो हम पहले ऑप्शन पे जाते हैं ए. ए के साथ क्या क्या है, डिसेंट है या डिक्लाइन है? पहले पे है डिसेंट. अब आते हैं दूसरे पे. पहला ऑप्शन कह रहा है कि दूसरे पे होगा एराटिक. एरोनियस का मतलब होता है रॉन्ग डेटा, एराटिक मतलब सडन राइज इन द डेटा, बहुत समथिंग विच इज हेयर वायर विच इज वेरी वेरी डिफरेंट और चेंजेस विदाउट रीजन. ठीक है, थर्ड है ए. द फेब्रुअरी 14 मार्क सरपासेस और सुपरसीड्स. सरपास मतलब उसको क्रॉस कर जाना, सुपरसीड मतलब उसके ऊपर चले जाना. ठीक है। तो अगर मैं थर्ड को देखूं कि इसमें सरपास इज अ बेटर ऑप्शन, देन आई हैव 1 and 3। ठीक है। सो 1 and 3 में आई सी दैट आई हैव टू चूज 1 and 3 में आई सी दैट पहले में मुझे पहले चूज करना है। तो वेरी क्लियरली डिक्लाइन इज अ राइट ऑप्शन, क्योंकि स्क्वायर माइलेज है तो वो एरिया कम ही हो रहा है, इसलिए पहला का ऑप्शन तो बी है। अब बी में हमारे पास क्या क्या ऑप्शन है? बी में हमारे पास 3 है, 4 है। अब दूसरा देखते हैं। दूसरे में सेकंड का कह रहा है कि इट कैन बी बी और ए, बट आई थिंक erratic is a better word because erratic means something that shows a sudden change. So its sudden counterpart has yielded more erratic and controversial data. ऐसा डेटा जो अचानक बहुत चेंज हो गया विदाउट a reason. So this is a better option, erratic. तो इसका मतलब क्लियरली 3 ऑप्शन है। एक बार चेक कर लेंगे तो हम देखेंगे कि द February 14 मार्क हैज सरपास्ड द लोज, मतलब बहुत ही ज्यादा गिर चुका है, उस मार्क को सरपास कर चुका है। एंड while scientists were theorizing that melting ice shelves were contributing to the growth, जबकि साइंटिस्ट ये थ्योरी बना रहे थे कि एक्चुअली इससे ग्रोथ हो रही है। ठीक है। सो दिस वे थर्ड इज द बेस्ट सुटेबल ऑप्शन। Now let's move to another question. Conservatism is a proclivity, preference for the historically inherited rather than the abstract and ideal. This preference has traditionally rested on an organic conception of society, that is, on the belief that society is not merely a loose collection of individuals, but a living organism comprising closely connected, interdependent members. Conservatives thus favor institutions and practices that have evolved gradually and are manifestations of continuum or continuity and stability. Fourth, government's responsibility is to be the servant, not the master of existing ways of life, and politicians must therefore resist the temptation to transcend/transform society and politics. And options are A B A B A B A B A B B B B. I'll give you a couple of seconds to understand, क्योंकि इसमें ऐसे भी शब्द है जो बिल्कुल सेम प्रोनाउंसिएशन और लगते हैं मीनिंग के। So, are you done? I hope you are. So now I'll tell you how to approach this question, such questions. Okay. I always say that approach such questions with reverse engineering, smart way, that is mostly elimination. अब मैं अगर आपको बताऊं कि how would I have approached this question, then फर्स्ट से चलते हैं एक बार मतलब देखते हैं जनरल अप्रोच। कंजर्वेटिज्म इज अ proclivity preference for the historically inherited rather than the abstract and ideal. Preference means choosing one thing over other. Proclivity means tendency to do something. ठीक है। इससे ज्यादा समझ नहीं आया तो सेकंड पे आते हैं। This preference has traditionally rested on an organic conception of society, that is, on the belief that society is not merely a loose or a loose collection of individuals. So LOOSE will be the right option. इसीलिए अब हम देखते हैं कि बी सेकंड सेकंड अल्फाबेट बी किस किस ऑप्शन में है। नंबर 1 में है और नंबर 4 में है। ठीक है, और नंबर 1 और नंबर 4 में हम देखेंगे कि लास्ट ऑप्शन बी है ना। तो इसका मतलब है कि फोर्थ का आंसर तो मुझे पता लग गया कि बी ही होना है, मतलब ट्रांसफॉर्म होना है। तो अब मुझे चूज किस में से करना है 1 और 4 में? मुझे चूज करना है फर्स्ट और थर्ड स्टेटमेंट्स में। फर्स्ट समझ नहीं आया तो थर्ड देखते हैं। थर्ड कहता है कि कंजर्वेटिव्स thus favor institutions and practices that have evolved gradually and are manifestations of continuum slash continuity and stability. नहीं, जब कोई ऐसा कनेक्टर यूज होता है ना एंड जैसा, तो ऑलवेज पैरलाइजेशन इज अ मस्ट, इट्स मस्ट मैंडेटरी टू अचीव पैरलाइजेशन। तो कंटिन्यूटी एंड स्टेबिलिटी विल बी द राइट वर्ड। एनीवे, स्टेबिलिटी एंड कंटिन्यूटी का मतलब हुआ स्टेबिलिटी मीन्स the quality of being stable and continuity means it has been happening. Continuum is not the right word. तो अगर तीसरा भी बी है तो इसका मतलब चौथा फोर्थ ऑप्शन इज बी। अब फोर्थ आंसर राइट है, तो फोर्थ कह रहा है कि पहले स्टेटमेंट में बी सही है, बिकॉज इट्स बी 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 बी। तो पहले में बी क्या है? प्रेफरेंस। अब आप पूरा पढ़ोगे तो आपको समझ आएगा कि एक्चुअली प्रेफरेंस ही सुटेबल है। पहले में कंजर्वेटिज्म इज अ प्रेफरेंस फॉर द हिस्टोरिकली इनहेरिटेड rather than the people who are abstract and ideal. ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ आई टोल्ड यू कि कैसे गिवन ऑप्शन से आप सही आंसर चूज करोगे, क्योंकि कई बार वर्ड्स ऐसे होते हैं जिनका मतलब वहां समझ नहीं आता, तो देन डोंट लूज होप। ओके, नेवर लूज होप। आप ऑप्शंस देखो, ऑप्शन से मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम बहुत इजीली आप सही आंसर निकाल सकते हो, और सारे ऑप्शंस देखने की जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी। जैसे मैंने देखा ना कि फोर्थ राइट है, इसका मतलब पहला का आंसर बी है, ऐसे भी रिवर्स अप्रोचेस लगा के आप सही आंसर निकाल सकते हो। सो द अल्टीमेट ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू फाइंड द राइट आंसर इन द लीस्ट पॉसिबल टाइम। ओके, so guys, this was the last question for today. In tomorrow's class, I'll again continue such questions and some more vocabulary questions. I'm going for mix and match so that it does not become boring for you and it is eventually all covered under grammar. So I'll see you tomorrow. If you have any doubts, remember to put doubts in the comments and I'll get back. इफ यू हैव एनी प्रॉब्लम कि मैम स्लाइड में नहीं दिख रहा है, या मैम आप स्लो हो या बोरिंग हो या आपको कुछ और पढ़ना है, तो प्लीज पुट इन द कमेंट्स एंड आई विल डेफिनेटली इनकॉर्पोरेट दैट इन द subsequent classes. Please feel free to approach through comment section and shall see you in tomorrow's class. Thank you for being there and attending. Bye. All the best for